YouTube dando problemas, como ayer. Ayer iba fatal YouTube, a hacer directos. Ojo, trailer. Ah, no, teaser. Las Uros. Colmena. Marte. Ojo. Ojo. Las Uros ahí.
Hello and welcome to the reveal stream for Warmind, the second expansion.
Espero que no se escuche muy alto, pero bueno, yo creo que así está bien.
And I will be joined in the hot seats today by many waves of developers to talk about different aspects of this new piece of content that comes out May 8th. That will be a fitting theme for this stream, but we'll tell you why in a few moments. First, I'd like to introduce you to some of the creative leadership that has driven this project together. We have Evan Nikolic from Bungie.
Hey.
And we have Brent Gibson from Vicarious Visions.
Hello.
So this is an interesting milestone because we've talked about our partnership with Vicarious Visions before.
Yeah.
We've introduced our community to some members of your team when we were bringing the PC build out into the wild for the first time.
Sí, lo que han mostrado en el reveal.
Están
hablando ahí. Lo que han mostrado ahí en el reveal, el teaser ese, el teaser que pusieron en Twitter, se ve como oleadas. Así que ese es el nuevo modo, oleadas, en este DLC.
So, what would you say you do here?
So, I'm the design director.
Escucha abajo, ahí quiere lo subo más.
You know, I've described my role primarily as like getting the two studios to work together, coordinate to build this product, and then making sure that we're staying in lockstep as we build the next Destiny experience.
Mm-hmm. Common creative vision.
Yep.
Two studios. So when you take that common creative vision into Vicarious Visions, what role did you play?
Yeah, I'm the creative director for the studio, and my job is really to work with the entire team to make sure that their creative ideas are making their way into the game and that they make sense as a complete package.
Yeah. Many developers,
lots of people,
many disciplines.
Yep.
Yeah, we're always reminding people that Destiny is a game that takes a lot of people to make. There's no one thing that we accomplished with any one person.
No,
There's a lot of people that worked on this one, and I imagine
hay
they're
mucha gente detrás de Destiny.
They're excited to see their hard work being seen by eager players for the first time.
Yep.
So,
y son personas también, como nosotros, así que
you're working together,
mucha
two
gente que
studios coming together and coming up with an idea? Like, whose idea was it for us to go to these new places and to fight these enemies and to discover new heroes? How does that work?
Well, we talk about this a lot, and I think the thing that I like about our partnership so much is that you really don't know where the ideas begin and end. Like, everybody's been working really hard to make sure that this is like a truly collaborative effort, and that we're all taking the best ideas regardless of where they come from to make the best game we can.
And that's what's been great about working with VV is that we started with a single goal of like we need to make an expansion to Destiny, and working with VV, bringing in their passion for Destiny, but then also bringing the new perspectives and a different way of like.
Se ha preguntado Ditch de cómo pues tratan de juntar todos.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that you're going to see in this build that are like VV special sauce. You know, there's some strengths that we had that we felt that would be a huge addition to Destiny as a brand, and so when you get through Warmind, you're actually going to see some of that stuff in the game.
Yep.
So we have the potential to surprise some players with some new things, but
that's the goal.
It's still the world of Destiny.
Absolutely, still Destiny.
Absolutely.
I mean, VV's
Así que bueno, nos pueden sorprender con cosas, pero claro, es Destiny.
What's it been like for you guys to come into this development process and to learn new tools and to join us in this crazy chaotic web that we weave?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing is like it's been 2 years of building this relationship, and I described Evan as kind of our Sherpa up the mountain, like learning how to make Destiny, and we really had to come at it like super hungry to learn. And these guys have been amazing mentors. This is a big, complex game. There's a lot going on to it, and we have to, there was a lot of work that went into that 2 years to learn that.
I know that we've had a lot of people from your studio visiting us. I know that we've sent people from Bungie to go and live and work among your people. So
our frequent flyer mile pool is massive.
Okay, well, it was your idea to be in Albany, New York. So I want to talk about our goals for this project, and we're going to take a look at some gameplay soon, but we want to set your expectations for what we set out to achieve with Warmind. I actually encountered a tweet from Paris from Gamertag Radio yesterday, and there's a lot of people in the Destiny community who are looking at our roadmap, and they're talking about the things that we want to do to transform the player experience, to enhance the hobby that revolves around Destiny. We had a long conversation about these things with members of our community in our first community summit. We're pretty happy with the way that went down, so I'm hoping there will be more of those in the future. But we are looking to do a lot of things to Destiny. Update 114 was a step in that direction. Yep. Warmind is the next delivery of content and transformative enhancements to the way we play Destiny. And Paris from Gamertag Radio said, "Think it's safe to say that we want new and exciting things to do and explore, while also giving us an earned challenge for those that enjoy activities in the end game." So, this May 8th, that's what a lot of people in our community are looking forward to. New things to do, new ways to play, an injection of new challenges into the end game. You think you can satisfy that with Warmind?
Cosas nuevas para hacer, pero también que sean difíciles de conseguir, o sea, el loot que sea difícil de conseguir.
Destiny, so we got all new destination to explore. We're putting a bunch of secrets in the destination we want you guys to find and tell stories about. New story, campaign, new adventures.
Nueva aventura, nueva historia, nuevo
endgame activity called Escalation Protocol that we'll cover more later today. We want to challenge players. We have a new
Ahí hablado sobre el protocolo, no hay qué, que va a ser el modo horda que hemos visto en el teaser.
All up, I think we have a very big package and offering here, and we hope to keep players engaged for the coming weeks.
Y sobre la actualización que ya hicimos el vídeo hace un par de días.
I challenge players to find it all. There's so much.
They accept that challenge. Yes, careful challenging our community. Yeah. So we're going to a new destination. Where exactly are we going?
Nuevo destino, que hacia dónde vamos.
Yes, so we're going to back to Mars, and so it's a place that if you've played D1, like it's a place you're familiar with, but it's a different.
Vamos a Marte, se ha caído el directo ahí.
We call Hellas Basin.
Vamos a Marte, pero un lugar nuevo de
Mars,
Marte.
And where we're discovering Rasputin awakening.
Yeah, Rasputin.
No sonará familiar porque ya hemos estado allí, los de Destiny 1,
set off a chain of events solar system wide. So you're seeing like warsats raining down from the sky, and specifically on Mars. This is causing the ice caps to melt.
Let's show while we tell. We're going to break live. We have a fire team on the surface of Mars. You may have been to Mars before, but this is an entirely new landing zone.
Marte,
so let's take a look at what we can see here. You said the polar ice caps of Mars are melting.
Yep. And
there's a view of the skybox.
Que los polos de Marte pues están derritiendo.
And we've got some space junk raining down from the skies.
Ahí lo que nos han dicho, vemos ahí cayendo naves y meteoritos y todo.
So the polar ice caps are receding.
Yes, and they're uncovering a time capsule left on Mars, which is Clovis Bray. It's the cradle of invention. It's the birthplace of all the technology that we know in the Destiny universe today. And it also happens to be the birthplace of Rasputin.
Podemos sacar colibrí.
Ahí hay un colibrí volando por ahí. We have a huge facility, and this is Rasputin's stronghold.
And it wouldn't be Destiny if we didn't have public events and crazy things happening in an ambient world. So Rasputin is on Mars. You're telling me Rasputin was born on Mars. We don't want to overspoil the story elements that we're going to learn in this game. Hot take from the community. Stop telling me everything I'm going to learn.
Absolutely.
Stop mortgaging the gameplay to make your streams awesome. So we are going to leave a lot of the player discovery on a lot of the story for the actual player experience. I'm sure you'll explain to us how Rasputin can be on Mars and in old Russia at the same time.
Yeah.
And we will satisfy all of these curiosities. I know we have plans to do that. For the time being, this is your first glimpse of the place on Mars where you'll be exploring, where you'll be playing. This is where the campaign will take place. But then even after the campaign is over, you have reasons for us to come back to this place.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we have thawing right next to Rasputin, we
Nos
have
dice que después de terminar
so we have
la campaña,
we have a
pues,
whole
también
new
tenemos
frozen hive that's on
que volver
destination.
aquí
There to-
porque habrá
to,
muchas cosas por hacer. ¿vale?
challenge the players.
Yep, and then like part of that hive, the awakening is like we have the Escalation Protocol event.
Yeah.
That's a ritualized public event that we encourage you to play over and over again with escalating waves of difficult combatants to fight. And on top of that, we have plenty of secrets and lore squirreled away and hidden in parts of the destination. And like we're really looking forward to players like unearthing that,
Podemos
and
usar el
uncovering
colibrí,
that,
ya lo
and
habéis
learning
visto,
more about
cosa
like,
que
the
pues
Brave facility and the Brave family.
donde Osiris pues no podemos
It's
usar
been
el
an
colibrí
interesting,
y mucha gente se
construct
quejó,
of
pues
science
mira,
fiction
nos han
where
dejado
you
aquí
have
usar el
the company,
colibrí aunque no es
you
tan
have the
grande.
corporation,
Por
and
ejemplo,
you
vamos a usar el
have the
colibrí.
evidence of commerce,
Pero bueno,
whether it's
me gusta
Wayland Yutani
poder
or
usar el
whether it's the
colibrí.
Tyrell Corporation. So
Right.
Clovis Bray is our own storytelling fictional corporation, and we're going to learn a little bit more about Clovis Bray, including some of the people that were involved in the operation of Clovis Bray. Is that right?
Absolutely, yes. We're actually introducing Anna Bray.
Anna Bray.
Anna Bray.
Un nuevo
Okay.
personaje.
And Anna Bray is a new hero that we will encounter during our adventures. Anna Bray
Un nuevo
is
héroe.
she serves an
O
important
heroína,
role
mejor
in
dicho,
the
¿no?
storytelling
Anna
as
Bray.
well as the player experience.
Yeah, she's the cornerstone of a lot of the things that we're doing in Warmind.
Okay.
And so she'll be your friend along the adventure. She's going to be your vendor. And she's going to
Habrá-
be, like I said, that cornerstone on unraveling the relationship between Rasputin, Clovis Bray, and
Podremos comprar
herself.
cosas.
Well,
y
we're
demás.
going to
Y
actually
demás.
show the prologue for
Como en el hermano
Warmind,
Bungie.
and this is going to be an introduction to
Lo
Anna
único
Bray.
que, pues bueno,
If you don't want any
estará dentro de la
spoilers,
campaña.
this would be a wonderful opportunity for you to go and fix yourself a tasty beverage, because we're going to play the prologue in just a moment here. Before we do that, I want to thank Evan Nikolic and Brent Gibson for being on stream with us
Vale, que
today.
nos vamos a mostrar
Thank
más
you.
cosillas,
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for
pero
the work
ya
that you've done to give
despiden a
us
estos
new
dos
things to
chavales
play and talking to us a little bit about your creative vision for
que han
this
hecho
expansion.
pues este DLC 2.
Warmind comes out on May 8th, and we hope you'll be right there with us to help bump into us in the wild, play some Escalation Protocol, and shoot some frozen hive in the face as they come out from underneath
Vale, que
these
nos van a
receding
enseñar
ice
en
caps.
modo
Yeah?
horda.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I've been waiting almost 2 years now. We're really looking forward to May 8th.
Cool. All right. Well, anything else you want to say to the Guardians who are watching?
Good luck playing.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to hearing the stories you guys come up with.
All right. Well, with that, thank you so much for being on stream. We're going to put our next round of developers in the seats, but for the time being, this is Anna Bray.
Trailer, chavales.
Guardians aren't supposed to investigate their past.
Esta es la heroína
That's the rule.
que nos han dicho.
But I'm not good with rules. Not when there's this much at stake. The Clovis Bray tech in that building allowed us to colonize the system during the Golden Age. They, sought to create peace for all humanity.
Anastasia
Which is
Bray.
ironic, because they also built Rasputin,
Anna Bray,
the
Anastasia
single
Bray.
most powerful weapon in the solar system. Either way, it's all been entombed on Mars since the collapse, along with something far more terrifying.
La colmena fresca ahí. Ojo, ¿eh? Lo que nos han dicho antes sobre Anna Bray es que es una
So that was
nuevo
Anna
personaje,
Bray.
nueva
And
heroína.
these are the next two
Y
developers,
que,
the next
pues,
wave of creators
nos la
that are going to
encontraremos en la
introduce us to the
campaña
things that you
y
made.
también será
We
una
have
nueva
Jacob Benton.
vendedora.
How's it going, Deej?
It's good.
Para
Good to
podemos
have you
comprar
here.
cosas como
And
si
we have
fuese el
Ben
Valor
Womack.
Match. Lo que pasa que
Good morning,
salimos con ella en la
gentlemen.
campaña.
We're going to take a look at Escalation Protocol, which has been described as a cyclical, ritualized endgame activity that you have
Vale,
put
nos van a
into
mostrar ahora el
Warmind.
modo horda.
Before we jump into that, give me an idea as to what you do at Bungie.
Yeah, I'm a designer, so I work on encounters and activities and
Este es
things
un
like Escalation Protocol.
Diseñador que trabaja en
I was the lead designer
modos
for
de
this team
juego.
that made Escalation Protocol, so I was there to help
Este,
the
pues,
team
ha ayudado
succeed and get all their talents up forward in the
El
game.
nuevo
People
modo
can
de
see it.
juego.
So we're going to take a look at, we have a fire team all assembled to play Escalation Protocol. Before we do that, here they are in destination. Talk to me about your goals for this activity. What did you set out to create here?
So the number one goal was trying to make a challenging in-game experience that people really wanted to come back to and aspire to finish. We know that the community and a lot of friends and internally we've been wanting bigger challenges in the game.
Yeah, like something we can go home and play at night and like really feel challenged by.
Este nuevo
Yeah,
destino,
we've heard
pues
the
bueno,
community feedback
es
that maybe
algo
Destiny 2 isn't hard
desafiante
enough.
que,
Yes, we've
bueno,
heard that.
We heard it.
This is your
Very
answer
loud
to
and
that
que la
feedback.
gente
Yep.
le va a
Yeah,
gustar.
this is one of our answers.
Okay, just one of our answers to the
Yeah.
feedback that Destiny could be a little bit more challenging. All right, anything else that you want to say about it before we take a look at it in action?
Yeah, there's a couple cool features about it. It's has a lot of the characteristics of public events that you already see in public zones in Destiny, and that if it's running, anyone else can run up to it and engage with it and play. Like we're really trying to get people to, join
después
up
haré
and
un
the same
vídeo
fire team to overcome the same challenges.
para, bueno,
One big difference
del
though is
resumen
you
todo.
can start it at any time as a player. Like
Me lo ha
you can
dicho ahí
walk
un
up and
chaval que
start
se
it. It's
tenía
not like
ahí
regular public events
a trabajar,
where
o que estaba
they're on a
trabajando,
schedule.
lo
Like
podía
you could be running this pretty much 24/7 if you wanted to.
Okay, challenge accepted.
Good.
Es un
So
modo
in
que
that
puedes
case,
jugar, pues,
should we take a look at exactly how
todo
a
lo que
player
quieras,
would
24/7
activate
puedes jugar ahí
Escalation
tranquilamente.
Protocol?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a bunch of people assembled in this public space, which means that they can play together, but other people can come up and play with them. And
Puedes jugar con
with the
compañeros.
interaction, what do we see rising up out of the ground here?
So this is some technology that Rasputin has embedded in Mars around his area in the public zones. And whenever it activates, it draws waves of hive into the location. And Rasputin's doing this because he wants you to take all of them out before the device deactivates and the hive manage to escape. So he's trying to corral them in for you. And every single time one of those rises up, as you play the event more and more, it'll bring a stronger wave of hive with a stronger boss you have to fight.
Yeah, like it starts out
Son
you know,
jefes
moderately
de la
easy
colmena,
and
bueno,
then
bichos de la
ramps up
colmena, y también
to get
veis ahí
pretty difficult
que
by the
tiene
end.
pues
So let's talk about the structure of the event. Yeah, they
Se
just
está cargando
activated the event,
cuatro
and
rombos.
it plays out in waves.
That's right.
Yep.
How many waves?
So there's 7 total waves that you go through until you reach the end of the event. And the 7th one, it's no longer the, just crashing like horde of hive.
Son 7
There's
oleadas
actually a
máximas.
unique boss fight that has a unique mechanic. And we're actually even one-upping that one more level because we have 5 unique bosses that are going to rotate every week.
Okay. So each wave has its own boss.
Right.
And then the final wave has a final boss, and week over week, you have 5
Cada-
of them, and we will face a
cada
different
oleada
final
tiene su
boss
propio jefe y
week
la
over
última
week.
oleada
Correct.
And then
tiene
once you've played for 5
el
weeks, you will
jefe,
have
un
encountered
jefe
all of
mayor,
them, and
y
then
cada semana
Then
va
it'll be Sarah
cambiando
the first
you
el
can face
jefe.
them again.
And some of the bosses drop things that other bosses don't. So like
Unique rewards to
Exactly.
specific bosses?
Yep.
Unique
Exactly.
rewards to this activity too.
Okay.
Yeah, there are things that drop from this activity that you can't get anywhere else in the game.
So we are seeing people who are fighting with some weapons that we've never seen before, and we've seen the Graviton Lance before, but some of the other Guardians
Una basura,
from
nos
the
dice
fire team,
Gabriel
are
ya
using weapons
avisé que
that
este
are
DLC
specific
no
to
iba a
this
cambiar
activity.
nada del
Talk to
juego,
me
pero como
about
eres un normal,
why I would
que no
want
te
to
enteras
play
de nada,
Escalation
pues,
Protocol if I am a lover
está baneado.
of new armor and new loot and different ways to fight.
So the weapons are pretty insane. So you see right now they're using the
Ya
shotgun.
avisé que este
Iceblaze
juego,
shotgun.
o sea, este DLC no
They
cambia
have
nada del
unique,
juego. El cambio
perks on
brutal
them.
es
So when
en
he
septiembre.
takes a melee on the enemy and then he gets a
Como
damage
sigáis con la
bonus on his
tontería
shotgun
de estar
for a
aquí
few
jateando,
seconds.
It feels
aquí
a
no
lot to me
quiero
like Fourth Horseman
nada
in some ways, which was one of my favorite weapons from D1.
Vale, Roberto, venga, hasta luego
But it's kind
también.
of cooler because you melee to trigger
No
it.
quiero
and then
nada
just
de
unload with
negatividad
that.
aquí.
Yeah, and so that's only the first weapon. We actually have 2 other legendary
Venga,
weapons that are unique.
que vayan
We
pasando.
have a sniper rifle, which has a perk called box breathing, where if you aim down sights long enough, before firing a shot, it'll then get a big damage boost to your critical hits.
Okay.
It's such a big damage boost, you're like, whoa, like I can't believe I did that much damage with one bullet. And then it has triple tap on the gun besides that, so you can get some really good, like high damage moments if you can make all those shots.
That's one of the things that we've needed to add to Destiny 2 is specific activities that give us specific rewards, that have specific perks that help us excel in those activities.
Yeah, that's another part of community feedback that we've been
esto nos da aquí que
we
tenemos
really want to deliver it with Escalation Protocol.
And the armor
equipamiento
set is super
específico
cool looking
para
as well.
este
It's very
nuevo
like
modo, que
Rasputin
nos
sort
da
of theme.
perks
And when you have the full set and
específicas
completion, it just looks pretty
hacer
rad.
o
And
completar
you're only going to
este
get that
nuevo
armor
modo,
from this
¿vale?
activity.
Equipamiento
That's right.
específico de este
So,
modo que
talk
tenemos
to me
perks
about
para este modo.
how
Perfecto.
the character progression is structured. If I'm playing Escalation Protocol, what can I expect to earn week over week? What can I expect to earn every single time I complete all 7 waves of the activity?
So we have a few different reward systems that working at the same time inside of the activity. One of the, I think the most desirable one.
Don't wave at the boss.
That's a high value target that's messing with them right now.
Okay.
In the public space, like stuff collides like a really, really fun ways. But so we have several different systems. When you finish the wave 3 and 5, a chest will spawn that has more kind of normal public event type rewards in it, as well as chances of vanity items that you only get from this from Escalation Protocol.
Yeah.
The most desirable stuff comes from beating that boss at the end.
Okay.
We have 2 different systems. We have those guns we
I'm
mentioned.
going to interrupt you.
Dice que cada oleada que terminemos,
Oh my gosh,
pues,
okay,
habrá
well
un
this is
cofre
the
como
Hive
si fuese
sword. You
So,
may remember it.
yeah,
from
Público.
Destiny. Go get another one. Go get another one.
terminarla es el más
Yeah,
gordo.
someone else can grab one too.
Yes.
So there are these shadow rifts that
Ahí
spawn,
tenemos espadas
and
que son-
you have to take those out, or
se parecen
a
a
hive
las
aren't going
espadas
to be drawn
de-
to the tower,
de Crota,
and the time's
¿no?
going
La
to
espada de
expire.
Crota que
So
usamos
when you go
contra
to
él,
take those out, there's a knight
es
that
el mismo
spawns with a
diseño.
sword, and if you kill him, you can actually get the sword for yourself.
Nice.
It's happening right now.
And this is exactly the same sword as we had in D1 that fans may remember from that game. So you can even you can use a super and use a smash, and you don't want to do it on
Hay una
exploding
nueva
throw probably.
raid, es Crucible, no raid.
But you can also sword glide with the melee through the air. It's exactly the same.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of fun, and it breaks up the encounters really well. It's also actually really important because some of these waves are going to just take a massive majors or other like high difficulty targets, and they're going to just throw them at you all at once. So instead of maybe using your super or some heavy ammo, you can grab a sword and delicately try to carve your way through them.
This isn't just about shooting Hive and shooting wave after wave after wave of Hive. You're seeing some interesting mechanics here. You're seeing some
No es
things
solo
that they'll have to work together to
matar y
accomplish.
matar y matar y
You
matar,
see,
sino que hay que trabajar
like you were
juntos
saying,
porque
sort of the shadow rifts, you're seeing some
algunas
of
de
the
las
crystals
oleadas
that are
tenemos
suspended up in the
mecánicas
air. So,
para hacer. Por
while
ejemplo,
we can leave some of that problem
los
solving,
que
some of
hemos
that
jugado
understanding
Destiny
to
1,
the people
lo que
while they
hacíamos en la
play,
corte de
what would you
Oryx,
tell them about
que
some
cada
of the
jefe
different
tenía su propia
complexity that
mecánica,
you've
pues
added to
aquí
the activity
parecido.
all
Yeah.
up?
One of the things we
básicamente lo
found
mismo.
is that
Más bien lo mismo.
things like melting point
cada
or even
oleada,
tether, as they're using
pues,
now,
te aparecen
are going to
enemigos
become
que
pretty
tienes que hacer
critical,
cosas
especially as you
específicas
move into
para
later
derrotarlos.
waves. So when we've been
Vale.
playing it, we regularly will stop before the playtest and coordinate, okay, what are you bringing? Like if I'm bringing Celestial Nighthawk, can you bring Orpheus Rig? And that stuff that hasn't really been needed ever in public spaces before is
No es
needed
solo
now. to
disparar y
complete
matar.
this.
Yeah, when you
Hay que
when
hacer
you
más
aren't
cosas.
running someone with a melting point, or you aren't running Tractor Cannon with the new exotic update has this amazing damage buff that it can give to targets, you're going to notice the difference.
Cool. We're seeing some new items enter their inventory.
Yeah. One of the items, he may have just gotten one of the armory codes. So you can get armory codes during the event and for doing other things on Mars and around the game. And you can spend those armory tokens to get a special weapon during the event that you're probably going to need at some point in order to progress forward.
Yeah, we call it the Valkyrie, and it's basically like a incredible, I don't even know how to describe it accurately, but it's like a magical spear rocket launcher that destroys absolutely everything.
Yeah.
And those armory codes are going to be really important for when you're on the crux moment or time's kind of running out and you need to get that extra oomph to get through a wave. And you're going to want to use it at the right time, and it's going to make the difference.
Should
Con
we
esto murió. Por el juego, a mi
debut that
parecer,
weapon
ya
on
se
stream,
ha
or
dicho
should
por
we
activa
save
y
it
por
for the
pasiva
players to
Andy en
discover
mis
when they
vídeos.
play for themselves?
Que-
Well,
Grab it.
Por cierto,
grab it.
vale. Te han baneado.
It's
All
almost
right.
too good not
Perfecto.
to use.
We
Me
go,
gusta la idea.
and we're up.
Muchas gracias,
This
Lai, por
is the
banearme.
Valkyrie. You can see
Andy García,
the
que nos dice que con
Rasputin
esto murió ya
style tech on board.
el juego y que no va a comprar
It's a
el
melee
S3.
weapon. It's a
Ya he
ranged
dicho, ahí
weapon.
tenéis la reliquia nueva.
And it only lasts a short amount of
O nueva
time.
arma.
So
what-
use it
Que
wisely.
este
Yeah, use
DLC
it
no
wisely.
cambia
You
el
want to
juego
like
ni
bring it
mejora
out maybe
el
when
juego.
the boss for the wave comes
En
out, or
septiembre,
when a huge
como
amount
pasó
of
con
ogres
Destiny
spawn, for
1,
example.
That was a
que
good moment
mejora
for
el
theatrical
juego.
demonstration purposes, maybe not the best tactical
Lo he dicho
moment.
I'm
muchas
I'm not
veces
going
ya,
to criticize the
en
person
anteriores.
playing.
We're
but
showing it. We're
Quien
showing.
espere
We're
que
showing.
este
Showing and
DLC cambie el
telling.
juego, no, tenéis que
And
esperar hasta septiembre.
I'm seeing
No
things
quieres esperar,
hidden under
perfecto.
bridges that I'm not going to talk about.
Hasta
So
luego. Pero luego no vengas en septiembre
again, keep that promise and
a volver a
There's
jugar.
your sword.
there you go. Have your
O
sword.
a pedir,
So which wave are they
ayúdame,
fighting
Daykyri.
now? What,
So they're in the third one right now.
Si faltas al
Okay.
And there's
respeto,
7
vas a-
total.
Seven
Seven total.
And so they've been
Si lo
getting through
dices
these
con
pretty,
respeto,
pretty
sí.
readily. Keep in mind that we're using high-level characters right now.
we have had streams before where we wanted to prove the activity was hard, and what happened was our audience watched people die again and again and again and again.
We
which
actually
is-
started testing this out like that.
Yeah, yeah.
We had them at like the proper level.
Yep.
Like the level people be at the first week of play.
I'm sure there are people watching who attended our community summit who actually got to experience this activity, and they'll be going live after stream with their own, their own analyses, their own takes on what this is. We made them play at a much lower
Estamos
level
viendo ahora la
because we
colmena
wanted to demonstrate that this was
Warlock.
hard.
Todavía no
But
hemos
for the
visto nada.
purposes
Estamos
of this
viendo la
stream,
colmena.
we've leveled these characters up to the point where they've completed the campaign.
Right.
They've probably played this for a
Con
few
Destiny
They
weeks.
have weapons that
many
drop
weeks.
only
Lo
from
dice
this.
They have
Pablo,
weapons that
que
only
siempre fue
drop
así
from
con
this,
Destiny,
which
no
make
pasó
them
lo
better
mismo.
at
El
performing.
primer y el
So,
segundo DLC,
a
pura
character's
mierda.
first experience
Después llegó
in this
al año
activity
el Rey de
may
los
be
Poseídos y fue lo que más
very
enganchó.
challenging.
Yeah.
Failure
Oh,
may
yeah,
be the
yeah,
default
esa
state
actualización.
when you first get started.
Yeah.
In fact,
Primer y
you were
segundo
talking
DLC de
about
Destiny 1,
having
Hang
some.
on,
mierda.
hang on. What's this?
Whoa, what's this?
Así que
So
aquí nos
here we
muestra
have
la
Cosmos
ruleta que nos
demonstrating
prometieron de
some of the
poder
different armor that we can
ponernos
take a look at.
pues cuatro
And
gestos a la vez.
the best way to show off your armor to yourself is to do some emotes, and we now have an emote wheel. I think you're a little bored with all those green emotes,
En
but
Destiny 1 pasó lo mismo.
we can definitely get you
Oye.
some better emotes through
Hemos visto
your
ahí los
commitment to the game.
cuatro.
You can see the amazing
Bueno, que esto podemos usar
helmet that you
a la
get
vez.
only from Escalation Protocol.
Yeah.
Aquí tenemos un nuevo arma que
We've
es
got
de
the new
DLC.
emote wheel. That goes
que
in
tiene
for every
ahí,
single
pues,
player of Destiny. It's one of the
diseño
Season 3
fresco
upgrades.
de-
Escalation Protocol is exclusive to Warmind.
That's right.
That's correct.
And just to recap,
Nos dice que este modo es exclusivo de este
rewards
DLC,
that are
¿vale?
specific to the activity.
That's right.
You made it real hard. In fact,
Yeah.
what was the feedback you got at the summit?
Yeah, so actually,
Yeah, at
vemos
the
diseños
summit,
que son, pues,
they were having.
de
They were
Rasputin,
finding it
típico de
difficult, but the
Rasputin.
feedback
Por
we
ejemplo,
got was
pues,
that they
en
would
Destiny 1
prefer if it was
teníamos
even more difficult.
el símil
And we
del
were
sueño,
really close to being
gran
locked
arma.
down, but we managed to squeeze in one final change specifically based on the community feedback from the summit to make it even harder.
yeah, the day of the summit, that right afterwards, Jake and I went back up to our desks and got cranking on making a change
Yeah.
and getting all the right channels like involved for it.
Modo
And so
Orlaiste
now it'll
resume.
be even harder. It's what
Cada
people ask for.
oleada que vamos pasando
Well,
tiene
we're
una
about to
mecánica
find out.
específica
We're
que no
about
es
to
matar
find
por
out that
matar.
people should have been more careful about
Y
what
cada
they
oleada
wished
tiene
for.
su propio jefe y
this,
después
this
la última
begins
oleada,
on
que
May
son
8th,
7 en
along
total,
with Warmind.
tiene,
It must
pues, un
be
jefe.
said that you need to finish the Warmind campaign before this is even available
Podemos
to you.
conseguir
Correct. Though
equipo
if someone
exclusivo
else
de este
has
modo
actually started it, you
con
can
perk
engage
exclusiva
and
de
follow
este modo
along
para
even if you
ayudarnos
haven't
en
finished
este
the
modo,
campaign,
¿vale?
which, you're probably going to help make a difference by being there. You're also going to be probably kind of wrecked. It's because
Puedes
you
estar
will
aquí
be lower
jugando, pues,
level,
24/7
but at the
en
same
este modo.
time, people can res you, your bullets will count. So by all means.
Yeah. Okay.
Repito,
Well, this
Bungie ya
is
dijo en su
all
blog
waiting
en
out there in the
septiembre
wild, and people can
Tiene el
dive
acuerdo.
in after they finish the campaign or during in progress if they want to get punished. We call it Escalation Protocol.
Smash.
We will actually
Los que
leave this
fueron, los
activity
guiris
now
que
and
fueron
leave the rest for discovery by our
ahí,
players.
a Seattle,
So
con Bungie.
this fire team can go
Un
back to
chaval
orbit
subió, un guiri,
for
un
the
message
next
show
act
de YouTube,
of our
subió
reveal.
un vídeo,
Gentlemen, thank you so much
message
for
show
the hard work that you put
hablando
into this,
sobre un nuevo
including
modo
rapid
que vendrá
responses to community feedback in
septiembre,
what was literally the
un nuevo
11th
modo
hour.
que nunca
Glad to see you collaborating
hemos
with some people in
jugado
our
y nunca
community to
hemos
make sure
probado
that
jamás en
you
Destiny.
dial it up to 11 at their request.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
We
It's-
did it.
It's fun for us
Lo
too.
que solo dijo fue eso y que se sentía único
Anything else you'd like
y
to
que
say
era,
to
pues,
the Guardians in our audience before
sentía
we
bien
move
jugándolo
along to
y
take
era
a
muy
look at the
divertido.
Crucible?
Looking forward to playing it with
Message
everyone.
Yeah,
Lo
looking
tenéis
forward to
por ahí
seeing you
por
out in the
YouTube,
world
el
and doing
vídeo.
Escalation Protocol.
Así que,
Okay. Well, gentlemen,
Para
thank you so
todos
much
los
for being
haters,
on stream
pues,
today.
venga, a chuparla.
And we will talk to you again about this once we get some player stories coming at us from out in the wild.
Thanks, Teach.
Can't wait.
Up next, we're going to take a look at at some updates for Season 3 that are about to hit Destiny. And to accomplish this, let's introduce you to two combatants in our fire team. that will be sparring in this live fire exercise. You should know Cosmo by now, your friendly community manager.
What's up?
As well as Kevin Yanis, who is a designer on the Crucible team, who you may remember from our most recent Bungie bounty. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So you have the comm. Talk to us about what you'd like to reveal today, and then we'll get to playing some games.
So today, the Crucible team is going to talk to you about two important features coming in Season 3. Both of these are available to all players of Destiny, regardless of Warmind ownership. And those are Crucible ranks and Private Match. I'm going to open up with Crucible ranks here. So starting in Season 3, all players are going to be invited to the World Crucible ranks, and you're going to have a choice of 2 ranks, which really dictate like how you're going to play and how what type of investment you're going to make into the game. So there is the Valor rank, which is a progression rank that goes up when you win, up when you complete matches, and winning helps you move up faster, but there are absolutely no loss penalties. This is more a reflection of your time commitment. This is something you can go in, kick back, relax, and make progress towards something.
So everybody can get in and rank up a little bit and kind of progress through.
Absolutely. And you're going to find this rank actually featured on a quick play and all of our rotating playlists. And then we have the Glory rank here, which is which is attached strictly only to the competitive playlist. And this is a rank that goes up when you win and down when you lose. It's all about performance, it's all about the W's. So if you can win, if you can close out those matches, we're going to reward you for it. But if you lose, you go down. You really want to stay in the game as well, because if you leave early, you're going to get hit with the loss. Each rank features a form of streaking. So Valor, as you can win consecutively, you'll earn more points up to a cap, and that'll reset back down.
Streak bonus.
Correct. There's streak bonuses. Glory features the same type of streak bonus, but it also features a loss streak, which means if you're losing a lot, it's going to hurt more. And that also caps out as well.
Okay.
And that's there to add a little bit more of the risk of playing a competitive match. But I believe players who wanted this type of system wanted that type of risk. And speaking of rewards,
am I getting anything other than this?
You're absolutely getting stuff. So starting in Season 3, we're actually changing up the way Crucible rewards work entirely. When you go to Shaxx, as you will be required to when you first log in on Season 3, you'll be presented not only with a welcome package that contains 2 amazing emblems, but you'll also be presented with the entire slew of rewards and exactly how to get them. Oh, cool. Some of them are attached to reaching ranks, some of them require reaching rank and then completing a challenge. Something like pulse rifle kills or hand cannon headshots, sniper headshots, or reviewing engrams, or resetting your Valor. So if players were to max out their Valor rank, they can decide, if they want to reset it, begin that journey anew. And that will actually be one tracked in an emblem, but also be a way that you unlock certain rewards.
So if I see somebody that has like 735 resets, we know that they played a lot of
Yes, and it is uncapped. So you play as much as you want, play as much Valor as you want, earn as much Valor as you want, and we will showcase that. So these are the 2 emblems you get for completing that intro quest, and as you see here, the Valor Season 3 emblem tracks the number of Valor ranks you've completed.
So I like emblems, but is there any sort of rewards that I can actually like use?
Yes. I'll get to that in just a second. Okay. The Glory emblem here, for those of you who are interested in the Glory rank, actually tracks your rank points in real time, which means this is exactly how much you have slapped that on if you want to peacock a bit, show off. But yes, if you want a tangible reward, there's already a series of brand new guns that you're going to be able to earn from completing ranks and earning ranks. But there's specifically one gun each season that we're going to deliver that's going to be the chase. It's for Season 3, that's Redrix's Claymore. And this gun is unlike many guns because it features a new perk called Desperado. So as you see here, it has barrel traits, it has Outlaw, fan favorite, which is actually getting buffed in the 1-2 patch, so that it refreshes every headshot kill. No cooldown. And Desperado, well, that's synergistic with it. So reloading while Outlaw is active is going to increase your rate of fire. But unlike other rate of fire perks we've made in the past, this one does not lower your impact, which means you're still getting the crispy 3 burst, you're just getting it faster.
So, wow, okay.
Yeah.
See it in action.
Yes, you will. This gun is attached to the Fabled rank in Glory. So for those of you who want to earn this, you have to set your sights on Fabled, make your way there.
So we're not just giving that to everybody.
Absolutely not. This is going to be, I predict, one of the harder rewards to earn. If you see somebody with this, you know they're good, and you know they've earned it. So, with that said,
para aumentar el disparo.
Yes, it's bad.
Así que es un arma realmente
so, private match is
para
back.
ir por ella.
It's everything you have known and loved about the Destiny 1 private match with some of our new game modes, and we've heard the feedback for certain about some of the options not necessarily fitting people's preferences. So we've done things like stripped out time of day. And stuff like that, so that they're more focused on game options.
So what are we playing today?
So today we're going to be playing one of the two maps, which one of those maps is Meltdown. We won't be playing that today, but we will be looking at Solitude. Solitude is a brand new map that does require Warmind ownership. As with any DLC map in private match, you need to have ownership to actually
if I'm playing in the playlist, I'm good to go.
Good to go. And that is actually a survival map. It's one we built for survival. It plays very well in survival. We're very excited. And we're going to play a little bit accelerated. We're going to put rounds to win it to 6, which is the playlist version. We sped it up a little bit just to get it a little more snappy, but today we're going to be playing 6. So we're going to play Solitude Survival, and we're going to show off some new sandbox stuff.
Let's do it.
Boom.
Cool, thanks guys. So just to recap, Season 3 delivers private matches and seasonal Crucible rankings to every player of Destiny 2. We're also delivering the new Crucible maps that we're releasing with Warmind. You'll be able to enjoy those in matchmaking. If you want to use them in private matches, you do need to own the expansion. So as they depart toward this new match, I'd like to introduce you to the final wave of developers that are in the hot seats. We our final bosses for the day are John Wisniewski, morning.
Morning.
And Josh Hamrick.
Hello.
You probably have seen these two gentlemen talking about their work on many occasions past, whether it's a bounty or a video or a stream like this. So we are going to be talking about the sandbox tuning for Season 3. This live fire exercise in the Crucible will be a great opportunity for us to look at how exotic weapons are all becoming just a little bit more exotic. Talk to us a little bit about what your goals have been in reaching into the sandbox and making some of the most coveted weapons a little bit more dangerous.
The big goals that we were trying to hit with the exotic weapon pass that is going to be going live in May is that we wanted to increase the feeling of exoticness or power or sort of a specific gameplay experience that was happening with each exotic weapon. Basically, with the focus of just making everything stronger, faster, better, just pushing everything a little bit harder. And we wanted to do that in a way that was leaning into the exotic fantasy or the gameplay that we'd already established with the weapons on release. So we weren't trying to make any like drastic changes to how these things play. If you already know how they play, if you already like them, or if there's one that like you feel like it could be better, but just needs a little something, that gameplay
nuevo, sino la mejora.
It's just gonna,
Me refiero, ¿vale?
it's gonna be a lot more effective, hopefully in every activity.
Esto ya la tenemos en Destiny 1, la podemos conseguir, pero la mejora que han hecho.
What you see here is now a beast. John can tell you everything it does, but it is one of my personal favorites. I've been running it like crazy in playtests.
Yeah, the thing we did to Fighting Lion to make it a little bit better is we gave it more ammo, and we basically did a
ese arma de ráfagas es el que nos han mostrado ese arma de ráfagas es la de
added
modo
more
competitivo.
damage to the detonation and took a little bit off the impact, so it places a little less pressure on trying to get that grenade to hit.
Y que activa las dos ventajas. Ahora tenemos la última ventaja de esperado. Fijaos cómo dispara. LOL. Eso revienta, niño. La ventaja desesperado. O desesperado en inglés. No sé cómo traducirán en español. Pero habéis visto, es un arma que al principio dispara muy lento y hace mucho daño. Pero si activas, es decir, tienes que matar a uno de daño crítico, recargas y cuando recargas se te activa la ventaja de desesperado que lo que hace es que dispara súper rápido, pero mantiene el gran daño. Así que
Yeah. So if Fighting Line is one that you're really enjoying, Josh, John, what are you looking forward to getting your hands on when the 1.2.0 update kicks off Season 3?
I'm really excited about the Graviton Lance. I know we talked about it a whole bunch, but I think that one just came together really nicely. I think it's going to be a really good weapon for all activities. Yeah, it's going to be great. I think it'll definitely, in the PvP world, it'll definitely give Vigilance Wing a run for its money, for sure.
Well, we are in the PvP world right now, so maybe we can see a little bit of Graviton Lance.
Oh, another thing, while I remember, another thing we did to Fighting Lion to make it a little bit better is if you are still, it has more ammo now, if you are still feeling some ammo pressure, if you get a kill with the grenade, it guarantees a special ammo, an energy ammo brick to drop. Do we have any good snipers we could watch?
Oh, damn! You're welcome to go take a seat, Captain.
All right, fine. Oh, well, that wasn't it.
La universidad, madre mía, Light, que te has venido arriba, ¿verdad? Ok.
We've got Risk Runner. What did you do to Risk Runner?
Risk Runner, so currently Risk Runner, when you take arc damage, you're resistant to arc damage, and it activates the arc overdrive perk, where basically the gun comes to your life and just like blasts everything with electrical energy. We increased the amount of arc damage resistance you get when the weapon activates, and then we enabled that for PvP. So now you can run Risk Runner.
Yeah.
If you get hit with arc damage in PvP, you will take half damage from the arc source.
Vale, al subfusil de arco, ahora mismo no recuerdo el nombre en español, que es sesional. Subfusil que lo tenemos ahí abajo. Lo que han hecho es mejorarlo para el 8 de mayo es que mejora la resistencia al daño de arco. Tenemos más resistencia al daño de arco. Tanto en PvE como PvP Crisol. ¿Vale? Si alguien en Crisol nos dispara con ese subfusil, nos dispara con algún arma que tenga daño elemental de arco, vamos a recibir menos daño. ¿Vale? Es la mejora sesional a ese subfusil. Ha cambiado ahora de modo de juego y de mapa. Para que veamos cómo funciona, pues también pone pues el máximo de puntos, el tiempo y todo, ¿vale? Las privadas.
In Crucible, which is rare for me to use a scout in Crucible. What have you done to my baby?
This got the most, probably one of the biggest changes.
Yeah, it took a long time. It took a long time to like really dial in how the projectile was going to work. But basically, we talked about this in the TWAB a little bit ago, but Skyburner's Oath had, sorry.
I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. It's an inside joke. It's an inside joke.
Skyburner's Oath had it had a relatively like good amount of utility and power. It was a pretty strong weapon. It just didn't have any.
La mejora del León que tienes más munición.
When you used it, it just sort of felt like one of the other legendary guns. Even though it was pretty strong, it was pretty effective for most activities. And so we just kind of wanted to give it some sparkle, some pizzazz. And so what we did is we sort of like looked at the
video,
of the weapon where
si no hoy, pues mañana un vídeo más completo sobre todo el resumen, pero todo bien hecho, ¿vale? No hablar por encima.
So now aiming down sights
bien hecho para que tengáis toda la información disponible.
High impact precision damage. We put explosive rounds on the weapon, so anytime you hit with any playstyle, it's gonna explode and do some damage. But then for the hip fire, what we did is we slowed down the projectiles and we sort of like put a little bit of gravity on them, so you're kind of lobbing these like, almost feels like a rapid fire grenade launcher.
Okay. Nadie se ofenda, pero esta gente no aprende esto, es una castaña.
The first attempt at doing that was like, okay, this
Mark,
is fun.
tú
like,
te enteras de lo que quieres,
I can
¿no?
see the sort of the feeling of how this is going to work. But it was pretty hard to actually like
Bungie
hit targets with a slower
ha dicho que este DLC no
so
cambia nada. Muchos youtubers ingleses han dicho que este DLC no cambia nada. Que tienes que esperar a septiembre. En Destiny 1 pasó básicamente lo mismo. Los primeros DLCs fueron puta mierda y no cambiaron nada.
The first version of that was
Quien te haya vendido la moto diciendo que este DLC va a ser el mejor, error, clickbait. Y le está engañando y te está tratando como subnormal. Que no sé si eres subnormal. Pero si un youtuber te ha dicho, este DLC va a ser la polla, error. Te ha tratado de tonto.
Oh, God, look at that. Have fun with your puns.
Aquí estamos viendo la palabra quemador celeste en Crucible.
And what have you done to Hardlight?
Hardlight, we basically gave it the same functionality that Borealis has now, where you can hold down the reload button to change damage types on the fly.
Okay.
And then we did something that I'm really excited about. So one of the things that people know and love about Hardlight, of course, as you can see there, is that it bounces willy-nilly all over the place.
Indeed.
The utility of that is not super strong. There's a lot of spectacle there. It feels like a laser light show, but trying to actually pull something off with that has been difficult.
La que veis ahí usando el enemigo, está usando la luz directa. ¿Veis que rebotan todas las balas por ahí?
If you're bouncing stuff around the corner, you're going to be doing twice as much damage. A little bit harder to hit, but when you do get the hits, it's going to pay off.
Blind firing, high risk
Que nos
reward.
está hablando que si disparas a la pared para que rebote la bala, es lo típico de la luz directa, pues cuanto más rebote la bala, más daño tiene. ¿Vale? Ese es el cambio sesional para la luz directa. Esa es la que está teniendo el enemigo. Cuanto más rebote la bala, más daño tiene.
This is going to be disgusting.
Okay.
Kevin's going to destroy
Es un arma que ya teníamos en Destiny 1.
It's just good, like
es un arma pues muy de Halo.
Make sure the time to kill on Graviton is pretty competitive.
Las armas en Halo rebotan.
Yeah, time to kill has been a frequent topic of conversation in our community. How does Graviton Lance specifically answer that question? You said the power of math. You're just making this weapon more lethal, more powerful. Well, look at that.
So basically,
la lanza gravitatoria estáis viendo que funciona ahora en PvP Crucible.
So the first bullet's a little bit weaker. The second bullet is much stronger with a little bit harder kick. But that's one bullet less that you have to fire, so it's already got a competitive advantage against other pulse rifles. And
también que
as we were making these changes for May, changes were also happening
para Crucible, pues,
for the Go Faster.
Según la ráfaga que dispara,
and
pues,
as most people
cuanto
know,
más dispare, más daño hace. Lo que pasa es que también tiene más recoil, más retroceso.
Rolled our way, and we play tested. We were like, holy crap, this thing's amazing. And then it was sort of one of those moments where like, do we change it? Do we keep it? What do we do? We're like, screw it. Plays great. People love it.
Estamos mostrando
parte
del mapa nuevo, armas excepcionales y el cambio de las armas excepcionales que se sienten bastante excepcional. Se siente muy... El time to kill que estáis viendo ahí con la lanza esta es muy Destiny 1. ¿Veis? ¿Habéis visto esa última baja? Eso ha sido muy Destiny 1, ¿eh? Ese daño. O esa barra de vida como ha bajado tan rápido. Así que no sé, también no entiendo a la gente que dice puta mierda de DLC. Si todavía no has jugado, no puedes hablar exactamente de puta mierda, ¿sabes? Cuando lo juegues, entonces.
Crimson's getting better. Crimson is...
Pero vamos, que no cambia
completamente
el juego. Lo mejora. No a su completo. Lo mejora bastante. Las armas que estáis viendo se sienten que hacen daño. Excepcionales, valen la pena usarlo ahora en Crucible. Son ahora excepcionales. Y estáis viendo la lanza gravitatoria que está reventando. Fijaos cómo le baja la vida. Eso es muy Destiny 1, aunque en Destiny 1 quizás hubiese muerto un poco más rápido.
For the competitive world, we basically looked at Crimson as
podéis opinar perfectamente, podéis opinar, pero con respeto. Cualquiera que falte respeto, baneado. Ricolino, tan solo tengo que dar un botón. Escarlata.
Crimson is a 3-round burst, and also the burst fires a little bit slower than a pulse rifle because we wanted to make it still feel like a hand cannon. We actually tried it.
Ahora de lo del reseteo semanal.
We tried firing Crimson as a 3-round burst like the sidearm, and it just made it feel really light, and sort of like it felt like you were using a sidearm with funny art.
Yeah, it did not feel like a hand
Yeah, so we actually we increased the damage on the bullets and then slowed down the burst, so it really felt a little bit chunky. But anyways, trying to match the exact time to kill to an aggressive hand cannon meant doing some specific tuning to
Fijaos cómo le baja la vida, ¿eh?
and
Untitled, con los cañones en manos, ha bajado. Sí, que mata más rápido.
Everyone saw that.
Eso ya con la bomba no
we
va.
sped up the time between bursts to be able to match the cadence.
Probar el DLC después del DLC.
And then to be
Podéis
able to
opinar
match
mejor.
the exact
Podemos
time
opinar
and shots to
por lo que
kill,
estáis viendo.
we had to make it so that the first bullet of the final burst
ocasión.
is the killing blow of Crimson.
Que somos personas, no somos
because it fires
2 free bullets.
3 rounds
Uga.
per burst, you actually have a lot of room for error there, so you can afford to get in some body shots or miss a couple rounds, and you'll still be competitive with aggressive hand cannons.
Yeah.
Cool. If you were to place a bet, what gun do you think is going to be a standout? Uh-oh, there it comes.
Yeah.
Are you going to go to Sturm? You're not going to go Rat King? All right, your choice. Your choice. We're talking about hand cannons.
See if you can get some of those crispy 2-taps.
Give me some
La
crispy
Sturm.
taps.
La Sturm. Revienta.
Not bad.
There we
Not
go.
bad at
So
all.
En la
Got
pistolilla.
primed.
he's now got a primed overcharge bullet, which means he can get a 2-shot kill if he doesn't miss. So how this one is going to
Estamos
work
viendo que en
is
Crisol
Sturm
la
Dragon
gente
paired
se está
weapons.
matando más rápido que actualmente. Buah, 2 balas al carajo, bueno. Eso
You get a
también
kill
pasaba
with
ahora,
Drain,
¿no?
it automatically
Oh, you're just so
Sí,
bored
da-
with yourself.
Si le das
You're just so
dos tiros a la
awesome.
cabeza,
You're
al
so
carajo,
bored
tío.
with yourself.
getting a
Un
kill
cañón
with
de
Drain
mano que
automatically
necesitas
reloads
tener
Sturm,
habilidad un
and it
poquito
adds 1 bonus
para apuntar bien
round to the
y darle en la
magazine.
puta cabeza.
A new functionality with Sturm is that any overloaded round, so Sturm has
Y lo
a
mata
default
rápido, bueno, está
magazine of
enganchado,
12 and goes up to
es
20.
normal.
So
Pero bueno,
rounds from 12 to 20 are going
matas
to
a
have
uno con la
a
pistola y tienes más
significant
daño,
amount of bonus damage.
3 balas al cuerpo.
But you only need 1.
But you only need 1 overcharge round plus 1 normal round shots to the head to get a kill in Crucible.
Vale, si está cargada, si tiene la ventaja
And then in the PvP
de la
world,
Sturm
you
activada,
can get
lo
kills with
matas
Drain all
de
day, overload
un tiro en la
Sturm up
cabeza.
to 20 rounds, and be sitting pretty.
ahora.
Well, those are the 2 Crucible matches.
Si tienes
that
la
we're gonna
ventaja
play today.
cargada
Uh,
con la Sturm,
some
ahora
good
lo
pearls
matas
there about
de un
the
tiro en la
exotic
cabeza.
weapon
Si tienes la
tuning.
ventaja
We
activada.
don't need to reveal every single detail on stream.
En vez de
Might as
Dos,
well,
sin tenerla
we do
activada,
love watching
uno,
our exotic weapon
activadlo.
reviews from our community, and that will be a
Tienes
good
que matar a
opportunity
uno con
for
la
us to
pistolita,
understand if
cambias
we've
a la Sturm,
gotten closer to
boom,
the sweet
la
spot.
cabeza, fuera.
We'd love to hear your
Fuera por
opinions about these
muerto.
exotic weapons. You'll have an opportunity to get
es el
your
cambio
hands
para
on
Sturm,
them on
es el
May
final.
8th, when Season 3 begins with the launch
Temporada
of
8
Warmind,
llega el 8
second
de mayo.
expansion to Destiny 2. Any parting comments about your work and what you hope you'll see in Season 3, gentlemen?
I'm genuinely excited. It was joy working on this, like just making everything a little bit cooler and a little bit better. I can't wait for people to get their hands on it, and if it's not good enough, let us know. Do another pass.
Hopefully it is. Looking forward to the videos that come out. We also finished fixing the sniper scope bug, and so snipers out there, like, your time has arrived. Super excited about the montages and stuff that will show up.
Cool.
Yeah, and all this. So, yeah.
All right. Well, this begins a larger conversation about Warmind and Season 3. That conversation will continue. We'll continue to give you a glimpse at how some of the different exotic weapons are changing. We'll give some different developer insights for some of the activities that we've revealed today. And we've still got a couple of weeks to set expectations about all of this. So we thank you for tuning in. We thank you for watching. We're looking forward to seeing you play Warmind.
Vale, ya se están despidiendo, están dando las gracias por estar aquí.
Escalation Protocol. And of course, there's an entire new campaign, an entire new story to tell.
Con
And
el
hopefully we
DLC
haven't spoiled too much of that for you.
del 8 de mayo,
I'm
pues
Beach from Bungie.
tenemos
It's been my
nueva
pleasure to
campaña,
host
nuevo
today,
modo, horda,
and we'll begin this
nuevas
conversation
armas,
again soon.
partidas privadas, rangos de Crisol, tanto en partidas rápidas como en competitivo.
Guardians aren't supposed to
Y
investigate
de nuevo
their
el trailer.
past. That's
Vale.
the rule.
Nuevo destino, nueva
But
heroína
I'm not good with rules. Not when there's this much at stake.
y nuevos cambios a excepcionales. Y con el
The
Crisol,
close
pues
spray tech in that
se
building
siente
allowed us to
bastante,
colonize the
creo que
system during
bastante
the Golden Age.
como Destiny 1 en
We,
Crisol. por el cambio a las excepcionales, ¿vale? Lo que hemos visto más bien han sido armas excepcionales, salvo el arma de ráfagas nueva, exclusiva de competitivo.
Either way, it's all been entombed on Mars since the collapse, along with something far more terrifying.
Las privadas sí llegan con este DLC, Nico. Resumen del directo. Armas excepcionales que en Crucible revientan como si fuese Destiny 1. Time to kill. Modo horda que tiene 7 oleadas máximo. Cada oleada, pues cuando la terminas tienes un jefe, menos la última que ya es directamente un jefe. Y cada oleada tiene pues su mecánica para completarla. También rangos de Crucible, tanto para rápidas tan solo para subir es completar partidas y ganarlas, subes más rápido. Da igual si pierdes, ahí no tienes rango. Rangos en competitivos, si ganas partidas subes de rango, te dan puntos para subir de rango. Si pierdes partidas te quitan puntos y pues te cuesta más subir. También por rachas, si tienes racha de victoria te suman más puntos. Si tienes rachas negativas de derrota te quitan más puntos. Y cada temporada tendrá un arma exclusiva, ¿vale? Nos han mostrado voy a abrir esto. Nos han mostrado un arma de ráfagas muy bueno. Tiene una perk muy buena. Bueno, son dos perks que si las activas, pues bueno, tiene la perk básica de disparo lento pero muy dañino. Y otras dos perks que si las activas, por ejemplo, matas a uno en la cabeza, recargas, pues disparas súper rápido. Y eso es revienta en Crucible, ¿vale? El rango competitivo de Crucible es parecido al de Overwatch, ¿vale? Exactamente parecido. ¿Qué más? El modo horda tiene equipamiento exclusivo para el modo horda, con perks exclusivas para el modo horda para ayudarnos en el modo horda, ¿vale? Del Cubil no nos han dicho nada, pero habrá Cubil, eso ya lo dijeron hace pues un DLC, ¿vale? Todavía queda 2 semanas para que salga y la siguiente semana pues nos pueden mostrar más. ¿Qué más cosas? Hemos visto pues la lanza gravitatoria, que por ejemplo, cuanto más ráfaga dispares, más daño hace, pero también tiene más retroceso. Y hemos visto ahí que ha destruido a gente en el Crucible. Me ha activado esto, la mierda, ahí está. ¿Vale? Más cosas. ¿Qué más cosas? ¿Se me olvida algo? Activaba el Photoshop para hacer la miniatura del siguiente vídeo. No me acuerdo ya. ¿Qué más cosas? La stun, la hemos visto. La stun, si tienes activada la perk de la otra, de la pistolilla, si la tienes activada, matas en el Crucible de un tiro en la cabeza. Si tienes la ventaja activada. Si no la tienes activada, de 2 en la cabeza, como ahora. ¿Vale? Dijeron que iba a sacar Ray nueva. No es Ray, es Cubil. Ya lo dijeron hace varios meses atrás. Cubil nuevo. Cubil nuevo, no Ray. No incursión, Cubil. Como el de Argos. Puede ser un poquito más largo. O puede ser igual. Pero es como el de Argos, un Cubil. El arma principal es de los 9 o no. El arma principal, el de ráfagas, es exclusivo del modo competitivo. No de los 9. Rango competitivo. Del rango competitivo, si llegas al máximo rango, tienes esa arma exclusiva. ¿Cuál es la diferencia entre Ray y Cubil? Una incursión es larga, extensa, con varios jefes. Un Cubil no. Cubil es más pequeño y solo tienes un jefe. Como que horda, modo horda nuevo con el DLC. Lo hemos visto ahí. Vale, chavales, 300 personas y solo veo 166 likes. Muchas gracias por esos pocos likes. A los que habéis dado likes, os agradece muchísimo. Los otros, pues, no sé qué hacéis vuestra vida. Pero bueno, voy a hacer el vídeo reseteo semanal y también voy a hacer un resumen pero no creo que me dé tiempo hoy. Resumen general, completo, con todos los detalles y sobre las armas nuevas y demás. También la de la luz directa. Lo que han hecho es que la luz directa, cuanto más rebote la bala, más daño tiene, ¿vale? La bala que rebota, obviamente, no la que disparas, ¿vale? Cuanto más rebote la bala, más daño tiene. Y si aciertas, obviamente, porque la luz directa para acertar a alguien rebotando, pues bueno, no es fácil. Si aciertas, pues depende de cuántos rebotes haya hecho la bala, le puedes dejar a nada de vida o incluso lo puedes matar, ¿vale? La luz directa, que ya la teníamos en Destiny 1, que se usaba mucho en Destiny 1 al principio. ¿Cuántos rebotes crees que pueden dar? No lo sé. Hemos visto ahí a alguien que la estaba usando, pero no sé cuántos rebotes puede necesitar. Eso ya lo veremos, yo creo. En prueba la podemos hacer, como tienen las privadas ya. El día 8 podemos hacer pruebas cuántos rebotes más o menos puede necesitar para dejarte a nada de vida o matarte, ¿vale? También en el modo horda hemos visto las espadas de Crota para matar bichos, porque es de la colmena. Y bueno, en el trailer habéis visto colmena y naves de colmena, ¿vale? Vamos a dejarlo ahí, en colmena y no Oryx. ¿Vale? Lo dejamos ahí. Y nuevo planeta, Marte, es un nuevo lugar de Marte donde los polos de Marte se están derritiendo. Es Marte, ya conocemos Marte, pero un sitio nuevo que nunca hemos ido ni hemos visitado, pero se nos va a hacer, pues, ¿cómo se dice la palabra? Nos va a recordar, ¿vale? A nuestros viejos tiempos en Destiny 1. Se nos va a ser familiar, pero es un nuevo sitio, obviamente. No es el de Destiny 1, pero es Marte. Una nueva lanza, ¿sí? Una nueva arma o reliquia. Es una reliquia, más bien, que arma. Es una reliquia que coges ahí en el modo horda y empiezas a destruir gente. Ya no habrá tanta arena en Marte. Habrá arena, pero estamos cerca de los polos de Marte y se están derritiendo. Y también, pues, en el planeta se ven cómo están cayendo meteoritos y naves y demás al fondo. Es solo exclusivo de Marte, ¿vale? Y creo, no sé si se me olvida algo más. Creo que no. Pero vamos, voy a hacer un vídeo más extenso y mostrando todo para que lo veáis. Porque aquí estamos viendo pues el chat y el streaming, ¿vale? Y nada, tenemos nueva historia, nueva heroína, Anna Bray, ¿vale? O sí, Anna Bray en corto. Y poco más, ¿vale? Esta nueva heroína la encontraremos en la campaña y después de terminar la campaña, pues la tendremos como una nueva vendedora y le podremos comprar cosas y demás, ¿vale? Y tendrá cosas para conseguir como armas, imagino que también, y armadura, ¿vale? Lo que más me ha gustado, los nuevos cambios para Crisol con las armas excepcionales, que se siente como Destiny 1 en el time to kill, el tiempo de baja, es decir, que matas a alguien súper rápido con armas excepcionales. Y eso me gusta. Lo que más me ha gustado, ¿vale? Otra vez lo vuelvo a decir, que este DLC mejora Destiny, pero no lo cambia por completo. Hasta septiembre no llega a los cambios gordos. Pero gordos, gordos. Gordos de los que se hizo en Destiny 1. Con el Rey de los Poseídos, ¿vale? Se os puede caer el pelo en septiembre. Así que, pues bueno, tan solo queda esperar al 8 de mayo. Mientras tanto, vamos a hacer varios vídeos, ¿vale? Voy a hacer reseteo. Creo que alguien ha dicho ahí, algún suscriptor había dicho ahí el ocaso de esta semana. Creo que es el fusil automático, lo que hay, no estoy seguro. Ahora lo miraré. Y creo que lo puedo mirar aquí, a ver, rápidamente. Un momento y lo miro, rápido. Creo que es el fusil automático, ¿eh? No estoy seguro, a ver. O no. No, fusil automático es la canción de Sabatún. Y creo que el de esta semana, el ocaso de esta semana es el jardín de no sé qué, ¿no? Jardín de algo. Si es el jardín, entonces lo que tenemos es una nave excepcional. Os lo muestro aquí. Paso esto para allá. Si es el jardín, tenemos esta nave excepcional, ¿vale? Si es la canción de Sabatún, tenemos el fusil automático. ¿Vale? Si es el jardín, tenemos esta nave asesinal. Ahora hago el vídeo de reseteo, ¿vale? Y prefiero este fusil automático, la canción de Sabatún, porque es muy bueno también y hay que farmearlo frescamente. A alguien le costó bastante conseguir el cañón, o alguien lo tiene, el cañón. El trailer, bueno, te lo paso ahora por aquí por el chat. Os dejo ahora para finalizar el link del trailer, que será en, pues, en Destiny, canal de Destiny. Os paso el link del trailer en español, yo creo que ya estará subido en español, sí. ¿Vale? O espérate, lo vemos ahí en español y os dejo de paso también, es prólogo, trailer, prólogo, presentación. ¿Vale? Vale, este no es español, este es en México. Lo dejo en español. Y después, pues si queréis, en México. ¿Vale? Porque yo soy español, no tengo nada en contra de los mexicanos ni nada, sino que, bueno. ¿Vale? Ahora os paso el link en el chat, pero vamos a ver en español Ana Bray. Lo veis bien, ¿no? Espérate que subo el sonido del tráiler y así me silencio yo, ¿vale? Y lo vemos.
Peggy 16.
Los guardianes no deben investigar su pasado. Así son las normas. Pero las normas no se me dan bien. Sobre todo cuando hay tanto en juego. La tecnología Clovis Bray nos permitió colonizar el sistema durante la Edad de Oro. Buscaban la paz para la humanidad. Lo que es irónico porque también construyeron a Rasputin, el arma más poderosa del sistema solar. De cualquier modo, todo está enterrado en Marte desde el colapso, junto con algo mucho más aterrador.
El estratega Rasputin, fresco ahí. Bueno, hay varios estrategas. Pero bueno, os dejo el enlace del tráiler. Ahí. Y en español. Ahí está el enlace del tráiler. Y pues nada, nos vemos ya después. Reseteo semanal, voy a hacer ahora y lo subo rápido. Y por último, pues haré reseteo, o sea, reseteo no, perdón, el resumen entero de todo el streaming, ¿vale? Así que, lo dicho, muchas gracias a todos. Os agradece bastante. 209 likes. Creo que no sé si estamos cerca ahí del récord. Va a ser mucha edición. Así que muchas gracias a todos. Nos esperamos, pues, espero veros a todos, incluso a los haters, sobre todo más a los haters, el día 8 de mayo con el nuevo DLC, el estratega. Sobre todo a los haters. A los que no sois haters, también, obviamente, os llevo en el corazón. Pero a los haters, pues os llevo más en otro sitio. Pero quiero veros allí, porque sé que vais a jugar y os va a gustar. A aquellos haters, a los que no sois haters, pues ya sé que os gusta Destiny y estáis ahí apoyando Destiny, aunque pues tenga horas malas y horas buenas, ¿vale? Así que es un gran juego. Lo único, pues bueno, han hecho cambios, han reconocido que se han equivocado y están mejorando el juego. Repito, en septiembre ya dijo Bungie en el subblog anterior de esta semana en Bungie, con la actualización del roadmap, que en septiembre se vienen los cambios gordos, ¿vale? Así que, lo dicho, también, como he dicho antes, Mesa Chong, un youtuber que fue pues esta semana pasada a Seattle, mostró, bueno, mostró no mostró, bueno, mostró su opinión sobre el nuevo modo de juego en septiembre y dice que es un nuevo modo de juego que jamás ha estado en Destiny y que nunca hemos jugado, y ese nuevo modo de juego le ha gustado, se ha divertido y es muy divertido de jugar y es pues nuevo, algo que no se ha visto tampoco en otro videojuego, ¿vale? Eso es lo que dice Mesachon, un guardián, Giri, extranjero de inglés, ¿vale? Eso es lo que dijo, que es un nuevo modo muy divertido, jamás lo hemos visto en Destiny y tampoco en Halo, porque Bungie, pues bueno, creador de Halo, y que es muy original ese nuevo modo, pero tenemos que esperar a septiembre. Él lo ha probado, lo probó y eso dijo en el vídeo, solo dijo eso, no puede decir de qué se trata porque tiene pues un contrato, ¿no? Pues no tiene que mostrar nada, así que, pues dicho, en septiembre también se viene todo lo gordo, pero antes, 8 de mayo, nos vemos todos ahí con el nuevo Crucible, ¿vale? No han mostrado nada del Crucible, seguramente la semana que viene sí, harán otro streaming, pues siempre Bungie hace lo mismo, la semana que viene hace otro streaming y nos pueden mostrar el Crucible, ¿vale? Crucible que es como el de Argos, puede ser un poco más largo, pero no menos corto, ¿vale? Y tampoco tan largo como una incursión, porque es un Crucible. Así que, pues, ayudaremos a Guardianes como siempre llevamos haciendo hace muchos meses desde que salió Destiny. Así que lo dicho, nos vemos ahora con el sorteo semanal, haré vídeo de resumen y muchas gracias a todos. Chao, chao. Os dejo de nuevo el link del tráiler por si no lo habéis visto. También está el tráiler en versión latina, ¿vale? Para México. Tan solo entráis en el canal de Destiny The Game y ya está, ahí lo tenéis, ¿vale? Chao, chao.